Oh yeah. Okay, y'all. Big facts at it again. Now, as I stated last night, we're gonna talk about Frank, Big Frank. This is chapter 17 on the book. Got your back. We're gonna talk about why Frank left his gun. Reggie Wright says he didn't tell Frank to leave his gun. Frank says different. We're gonna get to the bottom of this matter. We're gonna hear from the words of Frank Alexander, Big Frank, about what happened, man. Okay. Chapter 17. Vegas was hot, but I wasn't complaining. I was going to see Pop. While driving in from LA the day before, I realized I missed the homie. It was my first day back at work from vacation. I spent most of August with my 10-year-old daughter. Ooh, 10-year-old daughter? Oh man, so Frank got a daughter out there. She probably about 30 something now. And I look forward to going back to work. I was scheduled to bodyguard him through the weekend. Tupac was supposed to turn up at the Luxor Hotel sometime in the afternoon, which was just as well because I had a security meeting early in the day, and I didn't want it to conflict with his arrival. The meeting was held at a Vegas attorney's office. Seems that for proper Nevada state procedure to get clearance for the security officers to carry guns, a letter should have been sent in advance requesting we be allowed to carry guns. It was not done. No guns meant a lack of security. At the meeting, the attorney confirmed we were not allowed to carry guns on us at any time, especially at the club. Bingo. Okay, so now y'all gotta find. Now we gotta investigate who the attorney was. The meeting was held at a Vegas attorney's office. He don't say who the attorney was. He just said a meeting was held at a Vegas attorney's office for the proper Nevada state procedure to get clearance for the security officers to carry guns. He don't say who the Vegas attorney was, though. That would have proved Reggie been lying. That Reggie was lying the whole time. What Reggie says now, if y'all could find that attorney who didn't approve them to carry guns, then y'all can prove Reggie a liar. I gotta read that again, man. A letter should have been sent in advance requesting we be allowed to carry guns. It was not done. No guns meant the lack of security at the meeting. No guns meant the lack of security. At the meeting, the attorney confirmed we were not. At the meeting, the attorney confirmed we were not allowed to carry guns on us at any time, especially at the club. So they couldn't carry guns in Vegas, at the fight, at MGM, or at the club. Suge had gotten the Vegas police to agree to let him open Club 662 for the night, but that didn't mean they were happy about it. If we were caught with the gun on us behind state lines, that's all it would have taken for them to shut 662 down. It didn't matter that out of the 20 guards on duty that night, most were police officers and all were legally licensed to carry weapons. Death Row couldn't take any chances. Who was the other security, the bodyguards? Who was the other bodyguards that was there? Because they can confirm if Frank was telling the truth or not on that. You know, we got to find out who the other security guards was, man. You got Kevin Hackey, and you got one of those guys that got killed. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Kevin Hackey was there or not. We got to find out from the other guards who's telling the truth. The only way Suge wasn't about to arrive early. Finally, Suge signaled it was time to go to his house, and Pac pulled me aside. I want you to drive Kadita's Lexus with the little homies, and I'm gonna ride with Suge. Boom. My gun was in my car. My gun was in my car. My gun was in my car. A two-seater parked on the other side of the hotel, and I knew I couldn't say, "Hey, Suge, Pop, why don't you wait up a minute while I go over to my car?" It wouldn't happen. Once we're rolling, we're rolling. There's no time to make a run. I wasn't allowed to carry a firearm tonight anyway. I told myself, and there's going to be 20 security guards waiting at the club by the time we get there. Besides, Pac wants me to do him a favor and look after his outlaws. Most of them can't drive legally, and Pac knew they were going to get drunk. Somebody had to drive. Okay, y'all, so I also want to read this part where where Reggie was saying that while Pac was laying on his deathbed in the hospital, Frank was joyriding around with a white girl being Hollywood. But Frank says that's not true. Frank says Hammer started that rumor that he was rolling with a white girl. Because he says right here, I drove to my aunt's house. She lives in Las Vegas, and we had plans to have dinner that night. Along the way, I see Hammer drive by my car, and he waved. He's in his Hummer, and he rolled down the window and asked if I'm on my way to the hospital. I told him I was going to get something to eat, and that I would be at the hospital in the morning. Around midnight, I got a page from Reggie. It didn't take long before the numbers I was dealt on the plane to start tossing some shit luck my way. Hammer apparently went straight to the hospital and proceeded to tell everybody I'm driving around the strip with some white girl in my car. I don't know where he got that idea, but I was alone, and I certainly wasn't out for a joyride. Okay, so Frank says different than what Reggie puts out there on Bond First. Okay, let me continue, because Reggie throws Frank under the bus too. So, okay, y'all, here's the meat and potatoes of this situation. So Frank is over Suge's night. Frank got called to Suge Knight's house late at night to talk about, what Frank said to the police and everything like that. We got David Kenner was there. About two of Suge Knight's homeboys was there. Reggie Wright was there, and Frank was there. And so I'm gonna start off right here. Scapegoat, page 169. Suddenly, the telephone rings, and it's Kelvin Tubbs, who's helping to run death row. He was calling from the hospital every few minutes to give Suge an update on Pac. Suge listened into the receivers, said all right, then hung up the phone. He began screaming at me. I still don't understand why you didn't have your fucking gun. I said, Suge, I already told you on Sunday, the day after the shooting, remember? I came to the house. We sat in your office. and we talked for about an hour or so, going over the details. You didn't say anything about it then after I explained all this to you. I can look back now and see he was pissed off about Pac's update and wasn't thinking rationally. But it still fucked with me. We already had a meeting the day after the shooting. I went over the whole day from when the attorney told us to leave our guns in the hotel or in our car. I repeat, when the attorney told us to leave our guns in the hotel or in our car, to when Pop at the last minute threw me Khadita's keys and asked to drive the little homies. When I repeated the story, I saw Suge look at Reggie and Reggie look at Suge, and they both started shaking their heads. I fucking saw it coming like a ton of bricks. I was taking the fall, and there was nothing I could do about it. I thought to myself, oh shit, this whole fucking deck is stacked against me. That's when I started defending myself, because I'm not the kind of nigga who's gonna take it lying down. I told him Tupac had 2 bodyguards with him that whole entire day. And when he asked me what happened to Michael Moore, why wasn't he with us? I told him he'd gotten a phone call from Al Gittins, who Reggie had made a security supervisor, asking him to come to 662 because he was needed there. I have no control over who's going where. I'm one person. I've asked for extra security for Pac time and time again. That's when he looked at me and said, "You're right, Frank. So what happened?" I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Suge, it's not my security company." Suge paused for a moment and turned to Reggie. "So what happened, Reg? How come Tupac didn't have 2 or 3 security guards? He's the most fucking important artist on this record label, and he's walking around with 1 bodyguard?" Reggie explained something about having meetings with me and Suge on the subject and how nothing ever came about after the meetings. I looked at that motherfucker and wanted to rip his throat out. My friend was dying. The whole time I'm getting heat being 1 bodyguard when there should have been 2 or 3 guards with him at all times. I don't know if there was a ticket problem or not. But all I know is me, Pac, Suge, and his homeboy went into the fight. 20 security guards were at 662, waiting on us to get there after the fight. No one said anything at this point, and I remember thinking that David Kenner, been awfully quiet for a while. Wonder what role he's going to play in this. Suddenly Suge says to me, "Bet you got your fucking gun on you now." I said, "No, I don't, Suge. It's in the car." Then he walks up on me, and I'm thinking, oh shit, because he's standing up. This is the first time Suge's ever given me any of this shit before. I'm looking at this brother who's always shown me love, flexing up on me, and I wasn't prepared for this at all. Reggie pipes in, "Suge, it's in his car. I saw it in his car." Then the phone rings. Suge answers and listens. He doesn't speak. He took the phone and threw it across the table. It's too fucking late now. Can't nobody do nothing for him. He's gone." His voice was cracking. He stands up and just walks away. When he walked away, everybody at the table stood up. I just sat there and I started crying. Then I looked at Reggie and said, "You're fucked. You fucked me over. You didn't stand up for me. You just let this whole fucking thing come down on me like this. You let me take the fucking heat. Why didn't you stand up for me?" He said, "Bro, you know, I couldn't. You just have to take it. That's bullshit. I'm getting blamed for Tupac's death by Suge, by his family. Everybody's pointing the finger at me. It ain't right. It ain't right." I'm still crying through my words. And we're standing beside that blooded pool. And we standing beside that blood red pool. And for the first time, it's hitting. It's over. This whole thing is over. Pac's dead, and I'm fucked. Right then, Reggie said, "Just go. 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 Get out of here. Get your shit out of the hotel and leave. Go home." That's it, bro. That's it for now.